All right, hello guys, and welcome to today's podcast. A little bonus podcast for you today, this weekend. We have a very interesting show for you today because you might be aware that the Uttar Pradesh elections are going on and the results will be out soon enough. So before we, get into the results, I've had the opportunity to speak to Shantanu Gupta, the biographer of Yogi Adityanath, and talk to him about Yogi Adityanath's journey as chief minister, his performance as chief minister, and what to expect, even maybe from the upcoming elections. So, before we get into all of that, please help me welcome to the show Shantanu Gupta. Shantanu, welcome.
Hi, Sham.
All right. So, what I one of the most interesting things that struck out to me right away, and I'm sure you've gotten this question before, is as soon as you pick up. So you've written two books about Yogi Adityanath at this point. The first one was his journey from being a monk to to political office, and the second one was more exploring his performance in that political office.
Yep.
The second book, particularly that we're going to talk about, it's called The Monk Who Transformed Uttar Pradesh. And I really quite enjoyed the tagline of it. It says how Yogi Adityanath changed UP Wala Bhaiya abuse to a badge of honor. So talk to us
Yeah.
a little bit about why you picked that particular line for this book.
Yeah. Can I call you Sham?
Of course,
Is
yeah.
that how it goes?
So
Okay. Yeah.
it's a short for Shambhav because all my friends call me that. So it's just
Okay.
Sham.
Shambhav, such a lovely
Sham
name.
like
Can I call you
evening.
Shambhav? Yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
Shambhav. Let me call you Shambhav. So Shambhav, yeah, you're right, and I'm very happy you picked that tagline. But that tagline is very dear to me. And in Hindi, it reads like I have the Hindi copy also came.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
there you
Let me
go.
advertise my books also along with, right. हिंदी it says योगी आदित्यनाथ के उत्तर प्रदेश में यूपी वाला भैया गाली नहीं सम्मान है.
Hmm.
Right? So what it means that UP wala bhaiya, that tag over years became abuse. So let's say if you go to a Mumbai, you go to a Bangalore, you go to a Surat.
Did you hear Channi's interview just now? Channi's
Yeah.
speech.
So
So there you go.
Chennai is making a political commentary, but even then, so almost that, be it a political interview, be it in a party, be it in a gathering, अरे यार तुम तो यूपी वाले भैया हो. What did that mean? That mean that your degree certificate might be fake, your school certificate might be fake, right? You come from a land which has land mafia, cheating mafia, car stealing mafia, kidnapping mafia, rape mafia, reta mafia, like everything's run amok in your state.
Yeah.
You don't inspire. The only thing that you inspire is gangster Bollywood movies. That's the only inspiration that comes off your state. That all of that is you the UP wala, and that was the image.
Yeah.
All of us who studied well, worked very hard in our life, when we went outside, our image was, oh, UP se hai, to this is fine, right? So I think UP is a state of Shri Ram, UP is a state of Shiva, UP is a state of Krishna, UP is a state for many amazing things,
Mm.
right? Let's say I'll tell you two, three things. Kanpur was used to call Manchester of the East. Manchester
wow.
means Manchester is the industrial revolution,
Yeah.
right? So the factories, the production. Allahabad was called Allahabad, the Prayagraj now, right? The right name now was the Oxford of the East, because the
Yeah.
Allahabad University was so famous for its scholarship, right? All of that went to dogs, right? And that became the image of UP. That this is the UP for you, and every Bollywood movie it was portrayed like that, right? And today the same UP is talked about in a different fashion. Why? Now we are talking that we are going to make Asia's biggest airport, world's fourth largest airport in Jewar,
Wow.
right? UP had 25 flight routes 5 years back. Now we have 75 flight routes. Like every government does some work. 25 का 35 तो होता, अखिलेश भी होते तो 25 का 40 भी होता, right? थोड़ा तो एक progression, natural progression is always there in any government is there, right? However slow, fast they are. But 25 is 75. That's why, when I started writing my book, the title I thought with my publisher, the monk who changed Uttar Pradesh.
Mm.
When I collected the data, I'm saying, no, that's not change. That's not change.
Okay.
Right? 75 to 40 is change, but 25 to 75 is transformation, right?
Yeah.
So now I can tell you series after series, my whole book is a testimony to it. that now UP wala bhaiya is a sense of pride that I come from Yogi Adityanath's Uttar Pradesh, where GSDP from 7th to number 2, from ease of
Hmm.
doing business from 14th to number 2. There are 45 central government schemes where UP is number 1.
Wow.
Right, when during corona, Noida display unit, the Samsung display means
Huh.
the display unit of the phone, right? When they leave their plant in China, they establish where? In Noida. Huge plant which can employ 5-10,000 people. And
Oh
Yogi
wow.
Adityanath government gave a 22-kilometer electricity line within a matter of 3 months to facilitate their factory, because that was in a little far away place. And examples after examples, right?
Hmm.
And that's why UP is today talked with pride, not a UP wala bhaiya. So yeah, that's the catchline. I'm very happy you caught that, right? Very few people caught that punch, and that
Yeah.
tagline is very dear to me, even dearer to the main title.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I caught that obviously because I'm from Bihar. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
born
yeah.
in Patna, raised in Patna. I went to Delhi University for my undergrad studies.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I I have first-hand experience of that bhaiya taunt.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
can't tell you
yeah,
the number of fights I've gotten into over that
yeah.
taunt. But
So
so
this is that
it's
bhaiya,
yeah, exactly.
which we all, because of bad governance. It's not that
Hmm.
there's something. There are IS officers from Bihar. They are meritorious
Yeah.
people from UP. It has IIT Kanpur. It has I am Ahmedabad. I am Lucknow. It has a lot of people, places of merit. But how the let's say I'll tell you one thing. Uh, what's his name? The previous BJP government, right,
Huh.
passed a law. When Rajnath Singh ji was the chief minister, Kalyan Singh was the chief minister, that there's a law against cheating. Mulayam Singh Yadav came and removed that law. He removed the law against
Oh.
cheating, meaning that you can do cheating, right? You should do cheating. In fact, Akhilesh Yadav on mic, on camera, in front
Huh.
of lakhs of people said multiple times, थोड़ी cheating तो सब करते हैं, मैंने भी cheating करी थी 5 मिनट के लिए. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I know it's sounding a little funny, but this is the chief minister standing. This is the chief message of a chief minister to its young population, that you should
Yeah.
cheat. That's the way you should run your life.
It's
That's
emblematic
the
of the
ego.
rot within the system, right?
So that became the philosophy of the system, that okay,
Huh.
you should do cheating. Mulayam Singh Yadav used to say, after the heinous rape crime, ladke hain, galti ho jati hai.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? And even after that, you can run your politics.
Yeah.
After saying something as heinous as that, after a heinous crime, you can say लड़के हैं गलती हो जाती है. एक पत्रकार अखिलेश यादव के पास गई and quoted when he was the chief minister कि सर यहाँ पे ये हुआ, यहाँ पे ये हुआ, यहाँ पे ये हुआ. What's your reaction? You know what did he say? आपके साथ तो नहीं
Hmm.
हुआ.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
That's incredible.
These guys
Yeah.
were saying this on camera, like they were brazen about it also. It's not that they were only bad, they were brazen
Huh.
about their coarseness. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking we needed something like a whiff of governance, whiff of proprietary, whiff of morality, whiff of non-corruptibility, and all of that we form in a package in form of not only BJP government but Yogi Adityanath at its top. Yeah.
Yeah. What were some of the before Yogi became chief minister in 2017? What
Mhm.
would you say, in your estimation, were some of the biggest issues that he needed to tackle? And then maybe we can come to them one by one about how he has performed on those measures.
Yeah. See, as I told you in my previous thing, that UP was characterized by a couple of things, right? They were like
Hmm.
guiding philosophies. One was लड़के हैं गलती हो जाती है,
Yeah.
right? What it mean? You can do crime and you will get political patronage, right? Not only so, a lot of these people who could have been in jail were
Hmm.
MLAs and MPs. Atiq Ahmed, Mukhtar Ansari, there was a series of it. These two are just famous names, right? There was
Yeah.
series of it. The people who could have been or should have been in jail, they were enjoying political power of the level of member of parliament and MLAs, right?
Hmm.
And that was institutionalized. These are two things. Third thing was, and one of my video got viral, and there was a almost one page I dedicated that how when Mulayam Singh Yadav was at its peak, and Prime Minister also spoke the same.
Yeah.
Almost 40 plus people from his immediate family were in politics.
Oh.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
From block panchayat to Jilla panchayat to MLAs to MPs, 45, 40, 46 people, everyone who is 25, 26, who was of eligible age of being in politics, right? They were in
Yeah.
politics, right? So I normally say it's not even a Yadav politics. It's a Saifai Khandan ka politics. They were not even good dear to Yadavs. कि
Yeah.
मेरे खानदान में सब राजनीति में पहुंच जाए. So these were the like large largely principles. And Akhilesh Yadav government was marred by not only non governance and corruption, it was marred by like just laziness, just lack of work.
Mm.
When I ask officers, what is the prime change from the couple of officers are common, right? Cadre officers don't go, right? They're
Yeah.
still there. So they say, sir, there are two changes. One is that earlier the first phone to us used to come at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now the first call from the CM office comes at 7:30 in the morning. Right?
Wow.
We don't even get up at times. That's not my lifestyle, sir. Right? That's point number one. Right? That it's a working government. It's a
Yeah.
hard working government. Second thing they said, earlier attorneys and bureaucrats used to brief chief minister. Now,
Mm.
before any court case, we take dictation from the chief minister because he's so hands-on. He's in parliament from last 19 years. And
Wow.
that's a very engaged parliamentarian. He's running a MAT, which has 44 institutions, Sham.
Oh, wow.
What are the institutions? A school which has 6,000 students, a hospital which has 400 beds, a nursing institute, Ayurveda college, allopathic college. So similar such 44 institutions, MAT is running from last 20 years, and Yogi Adityanath is running them like a CEO. I'm sure running a podcast channel must be quite a work for you. When we do a marriage at Hard House, to manage those 25 50 lakhs of expense is quite a work for us. Can you imagine running 44 40 46 large scale institutions
Yeah.
alone from last 20 years? So he's a super administrator, and that super administrator skills is helping in the governance, right?
Mm.
These are the basic change that Yogi Adityanath brought, right? That
You,
how it was lawless, lazy
yeah.
government, non-efficient, hugely corrupt. What are the one of the initial circulars that Yogi government, the circular sent to his DMs and SPs, that at 11 o'clock, chief minister office would randomly call you at your landline so that to check that you're in office. Like you have to make such basic arrangement
Yeah.
because that was the
Because
condition.
that
You have to
used to be the standard, right?
दैट इज द स्टेटस दैट घर से
Uh,
काम करेंगे आएंगे तो जब चीफ मिनिस्टर ही 2 बजे सो के उठ रहा है तो जी जैसा राजा वैसी प्रजा
yeah.
जब चीफ मिनिस्टर इज लाइक आफ्टर 5 o'clock 6 o'clock यू कांट फाइंड चीफ मिनिस्टर अर्लियर वो या तो स्विमिंग पूल में होते थे या बैडमिंटन खेल रहे थे तो लंदन भाग जाते थे राइट दे वर लाइक चीफ मिनिस्टर लाइक ऐसे कि हाँ थोड़ा फोटो वोटो खिंचा लेंगे चुनाव में वी विल डू सम भाषण बाजी
Yeah.
so now a chief minister who gets up at 3:45, sleeps at 12, daily work, work and work. What was the WhatsApp joke when he became the chief minister? The WhatsApp joke was that there's a rivalry between Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath. And what is the
Yeah.
rivalry? Who gets up early?
Oh,
Who
acha.
gets up early? And Yogi Adityanath wins that rivalry by 15 minutes
Oh,
because he
wow.
gets up at 3:45 and Narendra Modi ji is so late. He gets up only at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Right? So the point is, these two gentlemen live a very, very disciplined life. Right?
Mm.
That's their life about. They start their work with public service and politics and end their work in week. The only holiday for Narendra Modi is on Deepavali and New Year when he goes to some border place and meet the army people.
Huh.
Right? And the only holiday for Yogi Adityanath is that he goes back to his mutt and perform at 2-3 hours puja for Durga Puja, Hanuman Jayanti, Diwali, because he's a Karmkandi Pandit also. He perform all the pujas himself.
Mm.
Right? So that's his holiday, that's Narendra Modi's holiday. So this is the stark difference. I'm sure I'm able to show that difference to
Yeah,
you.
definitely. Because I think one of the big positive comments whenever the people make about Yogi in Uttar Pradesh as chief minister, they always talk about the administrative work that is happening and how it's been streamlined and how it's a lot more effective now than used to be. Whether it's law and order, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's all of that stuff, whichever aspect of governance it might be, it is said that the administrative process has improved by leaps and bounds
Yeah,
since the last regime. You would agree
yeah,
with that as well, right?
yeah. And in fact,
Yeah.
I want to quote one example which will
Mm.
go good with your viewers. If you sit in one of his meetings, right, which fortunately I got the chance to be in some of his meetings, what are the terms which are very common and which
Uh,
people may not find very, very, very common? Terms like data, terms like dashboard, comparison, terms like QR code, terms like GPS. It's very common vocabulary of Yogi Adityanath. Only
mm.
thing, some people have typecasted, oh, ये तो साधु जी हैं, तो पंडित जी हैं, इनको क्या पता होगा ये सब, right? This is only me, the techie, only knows all of this, right? I'll tell you one example, and that will communicate everything, right? In fact, we can stop our podcast after that. It's so effective, right? So before, and that's a PDS system, ration system, public distribution system, ration system through which people get poor people get free rice or subsidized rice and wheat and sugar and oil, right? Before 2017, there were two, three problems. One, so there were 80,000 shops, ration shops in UP, and 14.5 crore beneficiaries. Remember?
Okay.
14.5 crore beneficiaries, and they used to get their ration through 80,000 shops.
Mm.
Now these various trucks travel from the FCI go down. They take the wheat and rice and take to this 80,000 shops at different places. This was the first leakage point. Half of the sacks were sold on the way to the motels and hotels on the way on market price, right? By the time it reaches the ration shop, only half of the lorry is there, and both the ration shop guy and this transport guy are like together in this deal, right? Now, if you are a beneficiary, Sham, and I'm the ration shop owner, it's called kotedar. हमारे kotedar बोलते हैं यूपी में. If I'm the kotedar, I'm the ration shop owner, and you are the beneficiary. On Monday, you will come to me, and you are like quite down in the economic ladder, right? So you will not have much say. And I come in a bike or I come in a car, right? So you can't like speak to me loudly anyways, right?
Yeah.
That's our social status. So you will come, sir, wo aaya kya, sir, ration aaya kya? You say, no, aayega. Wait. Don't get restless, right? You will come again on Tuesday, right? Sir, wo ration aaya kya? Right? I'll say, come on, man. Wait, have patience, right? Then you will get, okay, let me come after 2-3 days. Then you'll come on Friday. You'll come on Friday, sir, ration aaya kya? Arey, kal kahan the? Yesterday, ration came and it all got finished. I don't know what you guys do. Come on time, right? And that ration is, because you can't even read and write properly. So that on your name, the ration is already gone. In my documents, the ration is gone on your name. I put somebody's angutha and I've already eaten your ration. That ration is already sold in motels and hotels on market price, right? So this was the situation. Now come 2017 onwards, and what I'm going to tell you now, I'm sure you will not stop clapping, right? First step, very simple technology usage, right? All technology laden, right? That's why your viewers will enjoy it. And all these trucks who are traveling from FCI go down to ration shop, they install a GPS. A very old technique, nothing new about it, right? They put a 10-15 people team in a control room to track all these trucks, right?
Yeah.
As soon as any truck goes like 1-2 kilometer away from the route, right, he gets a call. Hello, boy, where are you traveling? Come back. Multiple arrests was made.
Oh, wow.
Right. Within first 6 months, this problem was sorted of this siphoning off of ration on the way.
Yeah.
Now you will be amazed what I'm going to tell you. As soon as this truck reaches the ration shop also is fitting with the GPS system. So you can locate it on the GPS. These two GPS are matching. And you know what happening then? Can you guess? An SMS goes to the whole village. The ration has arrived.
Oh, wow.
Is it not lovely? So that Monday you coming to me, ration aa gaya kya? Tuesday you saying ration aa gaya kya? You need not do that. You got the SMS. And I, as a ration shop owner, know now that you know it. You getting me? I know that Janta knows it. The whole village knows it that ration aa gaya. So I can't. If I have to siphon off, I have to be like super smart. I have to do something very cunning now. I can't do basic cheating now, right?
Yeah.
I have to do cheating also. I have to be very sophisticated. So to cut that sophisticated cheating also, what is the third step now? So now GPS, SMS. Now you can still, you can't read still, so I can still siphon off your ration, put something and give it to someone else, right?
Yeah.
Now all these 14.5 crore people are Aadhaar seeded. And their ration card IDs are seeded in a POS machine, point of sale machine is all these 80,000 shops. So all these 80,000 shops are given a POS machine, which are operated by Aadhaar validation.
Yeah.
They were trained in that. And all this in a massive campaign starting 8 months, all these 14.5 crore, 140 million people were Aadhaar seeded. So now in Uttar Pradesh, 97% ration transaction happens on Aadhaar. You can't take my ration. You have to cut my thumb to take my ration now.
Yeah.
You can't take my quota. Right? Sitting in Lucknow, Yogi Adityanath on a dashboard knows in a Balia or in a Gorakhpur or in a Jhansi or a Lalitpur or a Banda, X person has taken ration or not. What is the demand of each city? You know, almost 25 lakhs ghost beneficiaries are gone who were never in body and flesh. And these kotedars was taking their ration and siphoning of this ration. Government started saving 1,000 crore rupees every year on this. That's why I call it transformation. I just gave you one example, but I'm sure similar example you can find in health, education, expressway, in multiple places. I'll not tell everything, otherwise people will not buy my book.
I mean, it's true. You save something for the book. Yeah. But infrastructure is another big one, right? Because particularly in those states, in states of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. That's one of the other things when we were talking initially about that. Oh, ye to bhaiya hai. Another thing that's often talked about is कि अच्छा इन states में infrastructure बड़ा खराब है, सड़कें खराब है, highways नहीं है ढंग के, buildings गिर जाती है, those kinds of things. And in terms of infrastructure as well, I listened to a few of your interviews, and on one of the interviews you were talking about what leaps and bounds Uttar Pradesh has made in terms of infrastructure, particularly in terms of like building expressways.
Yeah. So I think one thing, Sam, and I'm very happy that you have followed my work and you have followed UP so closely, and you are asking right questions. See, it's not that infrastructure was not made in previous government. We should
Huh.
give credit where it's due, right? But the pace is unprecedented, right? So let's say Mayavati, I'll go to expressways first, and then I'll
Sure.
come to airports, right? These are the two important things for you to communicate and travel here and there, right? So Mayavati ji made a expressway from Noida to Agra. It was 162 kilometers, right?
Yeah.
Then Akhilesh made an expressway from Agra to Lucknow, which is almost 300 kilometers, though he launched it when it's only 80% complete, and the completion certificate only we got in Yogi's government. Okay, let me give the whole credit to Akhilesh Yadav, right?
ठीक है.
So in the Mulayam Singh Yadav time, we only was thinking and making DPRs, right? We never. So in last 15 years, we made 162 plus 300, 462 kilometers of expressway.
Okay.
162 to Mayavati, 300 to Akhilesh Yadav, right? Done. Come Yogi Adityanath, he starts with Purvanchal Expressway. And yeah, and these two expressway from Mayavati and Akhilesh are towards the west only, west of UP. Eastern UP, Bundelkhand, अरे वहाँ कौन जाएगा? That's so far. Who is watching that? दिल्ली में
Yeah.
मीडिया है, इनको दिखा दो बस थोड़ा बहुत. दिल्ली में मीडिया है because नोएडा में मीडिया है, तो वेस्ट में दिखा दो. Purvanchal, let them be. They're poor people, let them be poor. Right?
Huh.
Now Yogi Adityanath comes with a 341 kilometer expressway from Lucknow to Ghazipur, जिसमें 12 घंटे लगते हैं, तो उसमें 5 घंटे लगते हैं. Right? बल्कि इनफैक्ट अखिलेश यादव शुड थैंक बिकॉज उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी आजमगढ़ कम्स ऑन द वे. ही कैन गो टू आजमगढ़ फ्रॉम डोर टू डोर इन 2 hours.
Wow.
वो 2.5 साल में 2.5 बार भी नहीं गए. मे बी नाउ ही कैन गो बिकॉज द रोड इज गुड. राइट.
Yeah.
Right. This is one. Now there is a Bundelkhand Expressway, which is
Huh.
also almost 300 kilometers, which is almost 90% done. Right. 641 kilometers within 4 years. And
Yeah.
they have acquired land for Ganga Expressway, which is the second largest expressway in any state in India, right, which is 600 kilometers, which will connect east to west. So, which will start from Meerut and go to Prayagraj and passing through 12 districts. And there is a link expressway of Gorakhpur link express of 91 kilometers. I'm not even talking about the thousands of kilometers of national highway that in close conjunction of double engine ki sarkar of Narendra Modi in conjunction with Nitin Gadkari ji, who is making massive roads in throughout India, right? Because of that solid coupling, I'm not even counting that. So today or by next year, UP will be sitting on almost 3,000 kilometers of high quality expressways.
Oh, wow.
You can go from anywhere to anywhere using your American truck, maybe as you call it, right? You can take your 4x4 and go to anywhere to anywhere within couple of hours, right? And with high quality, high precision roads, right? That's one. That's why I call it transformation. Coming to air connectivity, UP had 2 international airports. It has working on 5. 2 new are already started. UP has only 25 routes of flights going in and out. Now it has 75 routes going in and out. Even from Gorakhpur to Delhi, you have 3 flights in a day. Right? Kushinagar now has an airport. Prayag now has an airport. Hindon now has an airport. Right? In fact, now Ayodhya will has an airport, and it is an international airport. And I always wonder when Rahul Gandhi will land there in some time, when it will come, what the crew will announce? The crew will announce, see, that tighten your belts, we are going to land. You know what's the name of the airport? The name is Maryada Purushottam Shri Ram International Airport.
Oh my God.
That's the name. That's the name.
उनकी तो
That's
हालत
the
खराब हो
formal name.
जाएगी. Yeah.
So when he will hear कि आप मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री राम एयरपोर्ट पे घुसने वाले हैं, उनके लिए राम was imaginary. I don't know what someone like a दीदी जहाँ जो जय श्री राम पे आग बुबला हो जाती है. When they landed this airport, I don't know what will happen to them. वो क्रू का गला
Didi
दबाएंगे
will
कि
have to
अपना
drive only.
नहीं, मतलब हाँ,
No
maybe वो क्रू
flights.
का गला दबा देंगे फिर कि नहीं, ये नहीं बोलना है आपको.
Yeah.
So that's I'm just see कि culturally also relevant. What is culturally relevant? Relevant naming and a huge infrastructure. Someone like Ayodhya, I told you the Jewar Airport, Kushinagar Airport, Prayag Airport, Gorakhpur Airport, Banaras Airport, Lucknow Airport, and metro connectivity. So these 3 connectivities will become road, metro, Kanpur metro already started running. Lucknow metro expanded. Noida, Greater Noida metro expanded. So
Yeah.
connectivity and infrastructure, and because when government spends so much of positive money, there's a lot of huge employment generation. There's a huge GDP growth because of that. These are not
Yeah.
corrupt money. This is like money which is going to infrastructure, right? When you make a road, you acquire a lot of land. You buy a
Yeah.
lot of steel. You buy a lot of concrete. You buy a lot of charcoal. You buy a lot of engineering services. You buy a lot of consulting services, right? Money goes to a lot of hands, which is
Hmm.
the movement of money, what makes you prosperous. So all of that had happened in last 5 years and more.
one of the one of the main things I think in Uttar Pradesh that people talked about, and you we were talking about that right in the beginning as well, which is the law and order issue.
Mm,
Before Yogi, that was a major sticking point for
yeah.
Uttar Pradesh. I remember I grew up in Bihar, like I said, and I was very small at that time. But I remember my family talking about when Lalu was there. My family used to say, "Acha, 4-5 बजे के बाद कोई घर के बाहर नहीं रहेगा, 4-5 बजे के बाद आपको घर वापस आ जाना है, सूरज ढलने के पहले घर वापस आ जाना है, सूरज ढलने के बाद कोई भी घर बाहर नहीं रहेगा." I remember even when Nitish Kumar came, it wasn't a big change in law and order, it really wasn't, but just the fact के लालू हट गया है,
Right.
people were celebrating as if India had gained independence. Like इतना खुश थे लोग बिहार में. And in Uttar Pradesh as well, I got a similar feeling. This is anecdotal from people that I spoke to. I have friends from UP
Yeah.
who were saying कि यार 2017 के बाद ना मामला ही बदल गया. हम लोग जो
Mm,
घर के बाहर कोई निकलता नहीं था 5-6 बजे के
mm,
बाद, अब हम लोग
mm,
शाम में जाके कुल्फी वगैरह खा सकते हैं, गोलगप्पा वगैरह खा सकते हैं. We can
mm.
roam around the city a little bit more freely. So, talk to us a little bit about the changes that you have witnessed in
Yeah.
maybe the transformation in law and order.
So in fact, my second chapter, Sham, is why criminals fear Yogi, and my every chapter starts with the artwork. So let me show the artwork of this,
Oh
right?
wow, that's
So
nice.
this scale, why criminals fear Yogi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the fattest chapter of my book and the most important chapter. And I get multiple feedback. A lot of people created Twitter thread videos out of this chapter only, right?
Yeah.
And if I take you to this chapter, this will talk like a separate podcast. But let me tell
Sure.
you three, four salient feature, right? Number one, the philosophy of state has changed. From लड़के हैं गलती हो जाती है से लड़के हैं गलती करेंगे तो जेल में जाएंगे,
Hmm.
right? In all the 75 districts, every district have organized gangs in UP. Can you imagine that? Every single district have organized gangs. You know what is the meaning of organized gang?
Hmm.
Meaning they have a profession. They are either a sand mafia or a kidnapping mafia or a car stealing mafia or a cheating
Wow.
mafia. And they have staffing. Like कि उसमें 20 लोग की गैंग है वो उनकी सैलरी होती है उनको बूटी दे कैन डिस्ट्रीब्यूट द बूटी दे आर मार्क्ड पीपल नॉट रैंडम
Hmm.
thief who does something not the organized gang. Every
Yeah.
district have 5 to 6 organized gangs of different things, of different mafias. Some of sand, some of cheating, some of kidnapping. Almost 90-95% of them were neutralized in the first 1.5 year. You know how it was done, and these were the people. It's not that FIR was not launched before them. Some people FIR was launched, some FIR was launched but never arrested. Some fled from the jail, some fled from the courtrooms, and many of them got political patronage
Hmm.
because they were sharing their booty with the political masters,
Yeah.
right? Come Yogi Adityanath in 2017, he enlisted he asked, give me the list of all these history sheeters, all these organized gang, and I'm giving you a target of next 6 months, neutralize all of them,
Wow.
use it, do it legally, use legally,
Yeah.
right? Almost 1700 people were chased, right? Some retaliated. 170 went there where they should be. They died
Yeah.
in shootouts, right? And rest of them were arrested. And these are not normal criminals. These were people of part of organized gang. Can you
Hmm.
imagine if 50, 100 people from all the 75 districts are gone, like who are
Yeah.
like dreaded people are gone, your state will be anyway crime free,
Yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
And adjunct to that, UP was running off half of its police strength from last 15 years. So यूपी में
Wow.
3 लाख भर्ती की कैपेसिटी थी, केवल 1.5 लाख पुलिस पे चल रही थी.
Hmm.
Why? Because Mulayam will bharti all the Yadavs and someone will go to the court and Mayawati will cancel that bharti. Mayawati will put people of same caste or same religion and then Akhilesh will cancel it, right? So they were
Hmm.
doing this Tom and Jerry from last 15 years. Yogi Adityanath, in the first 6 months, solved all the court cases. He sent best of the lawyers to solve all the court cases. which are pending from the previous government, and make sure all these 1.5 lakh police fellows were hired, trained on the field. From last 3 years, UP police is running with 3 lakh police force instead of 1.5 lakh police force.
Oh,
I'm
wow,
sure
it's
you
been
can stop.
doubled basically.
It's doubled. So
Wow.
I'm sure the petty crime you can just stop by the presence of a uniformed policeman.
Huh.
Petty crime can be very easily stopped. That's why now you go to UP, you will find visibly a lot of patrolling,
Hmm.
right? And that gives huge safety to women folks, particularly. All these eve teasing, all these on roadside molesting reduced drastically, and it's reflecting in the data also. It's not
Yeah.
anecdotal. And NCRB comes as data in 2020, which comes in 21 January. It says that UP has lowest crime data in last 7 years.
Wow.
Beat rape, beat molestation, beat dacoity, beat land mafia, everything. And last thing I'll add, all these dreaded criminals, right? Their addresses have changed in two
Hmm.
ways. One, their palaces, which were built on illegal lands, now they're razed, so there
Yeah.
their address is gone. And physically, they're lying in one of the jails of UP or outside UP. So that's why their address have changed. Their physical postal address has changed for
Yeah.
many of these people. And government of UP almost reclaimed land worth rupees 1800 crores from this land
Wow.
mafias, and making a lot of poor people housing, government hospitals on those lands. In
Yeah.
fact, ex DGP Prakash Singh, right, and that's a tweet on my back of my book,
Hmm.
right? Ex DGP Prakash Singh tweeted a very interesting thing. He said in UP mafia properties worth rupees 1500 crore has been confiscated. The next line is noteworthy. Yogi is emerging as UP's Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew is someone who has created Singapore,
Yeah.
right? And he was known for his tough law and order. And like NUS and Harvard run a Lee Kuan School of Public Policy, right? Lee Kuan is considered like the name in policy, and someone as senior as DGP comparing Yogi's governance to Lee Kuan Yew already when he's not even at
Hmm.
the national stage. That says something. That says something for his law and order.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm glad ki data backs it up as well, because anecdotally you can, I feel like you can see that, because some of the chaos that happened during the CA protest, some of the chaos that happened around the farmers protest, you saw it in like maybe Delhi and NCR area, but you didn't really see it in Uttar Pradesh. The kind of chaos that happened in Delhi, you didn't see it in Uttar Pradesh with CA and the riots and all that, because people were saying ki Modi hekdi sidhi kar dega or something like that. So at least anecdotally that was there as well. So I'm glad the data backs it up
No,
also.
CAA writing, if I can say, ran for 4 hours in UP. That's all.
Yeah,
After the CA was passed, after 1 week, so it was not a
yeah,
spontaneous. See, spontaneous is something like you get the law get passed in Rajya Sabha and people on the street. That I can understand. That's a spontaneous. After
yeah,
a week's time, after Friday's namaz in 14 districts, which are heavy on Muslim population,
yeah,
hundreds and thousands of people come out and start stoning police fellow. That's not spontaneous, right?
yeah,
You know, almost 700 non-prohibited bore rifles and bullets were found. Fired bullets were found.
yeah.
Within 4 or 5 hours, all the 14 districts were sanitized, and everything was video recorded through drones, and the money was recovered from all the writers.
Wow.
Right, the posters were put, even the courts were against it. Even then, Yogi Adityanath fought against it and said, "I'll recover from them. They
Yeah.
can't run my government property." And after that, nobody had the spine to come on the streets again on the road. They said,
Yeah,
"Okay,
and what
ways."
what I've noticed as a result of that as well is one of the things I've noticed, at least on social media, and again, I don't have any data for it, but I've seen a lot of like interviews of women in Uttar Pradesh on social media, and they talk about quite frequently about how their lives have improved, how their
Yeah,
quality of lives have improved, whether it's just a जनरल सेफ्टी कि अच्छा चलिए हम घर से निकल के कॉलेज जा सकते हैं या शाम में घूम सकते हैं अपने दोस्तों के साथ, एंड वी फील सम semblance ऑफ सेफ्टी जो पहले हमको हुआ नहीं करती थी, बिकॉज लड़के हैं, लड़कों से गलतियां हो जाती हैं.
हो जाती है.
And even with I you see in the rest of the country, you see a lot of abhi khaskar you see a lot of like complaints from Muslim women ki hamare ye ho rahe hain, hamare wo ho rahe hain, but in Uttar Pradesh you see a lot of Muslim women who are saying ki yaar dekho humko राशन टाइम पर मिल जाता है, हमको
Yeah,
अपनी जो जो हमारे बेसिक राइट्स हैं हमको टाइम पर मिल जाते हैं, हमारे को अपना पैसा टाइम पर मिल जाता है, हमारे को एजुकेशन मिल रही है, हमारा ट्रिपल तलाक की प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व हुई है. There are issues that Muslim women were facing apart from just simply religious issues
Yeah.
that have been solved by the current dispensation, and they seem to be better for it, and they seem to be appreciating as well. So in general, how would you say that the women of UP, irrespective of religion, how would you say their lives have improved or changed in the last 5 years?
I'm so happy, Sham, that you are picking like very right notes
Hmm.
in this election, which I'm sure you'll ask that, and Yogi Adityanath is wearing his hands down.
Acha.
One of the silent voter is the woman voter, right? Because life has improved for everyone. Like everyone in UP. I am talking to you from Noida, UP currently now. Life has improved for everyone, but it is extra fold for the women folks. And I'll tell you three,
Yeah.
four examples. You narrated some of them already. I was in UNICEF Sham in 2011-12 when
Hmm.
Mayawati was in governance, and then 2012 election was coming. Every day I have to visit 6 7 villages. That was my work in UNICEF, and I have to follow up a couple of things. When I used to come back around 7 o'clock, it was already dark, right? I have to ask my driver every time to either switch off the light or lower the beam. You know why?
Yeah.
Because on the road there are women folks who are defecating,
Hmm.
and it used to break my heart that in 2012 we can't even make a toilet for them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking? Right? I used to feel like so guilty, as if I'm doing some crime.
Yeah.
Right? Because when the light used to go on their face, they used to hide their faces, and I
Yeah.
used to feel ashamed more than them. Right? Well, I as a country, I as a citizen has failed. We can't make toilets. I'm not even talking about some sophisticated technology.
Huh.
Right? Now, come 2017 to 2022, you know how many toilets?
Hmm.
2.6 crore toilets are made in UP, Sham.
Wow.
All these women folks now need not. Can you imagine? You are getting a nature's call, you have a urge to pee, and you have to wait for 4 5 hours. You drink less water so that you need not go to the toilet, and
Hmm.
you do that for the whole of your life. That's your life. That was your life in Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati's time. And now this 2.6 crore women, will they vote because of Thakur, Brahman, Kshatriya, Hindu, Musalman? Because their life is improved,
Yeah.
right? That's why when people say, "Arey Thakur hai, vote karega, ye vote karega," मैंने कहा, come on, you don't even know what's happening in UP. Point number one. Point number two, every day for cooking, it was like a 4 5 hours hard work, getting woods from the village or making that cow dung cakes,
Yeah.
drying them. If there's a rainy day, summer day, winter day, whatever may happen, you have to do that. Now you just put a lighter and gas is on.
Hmm.
How many gas stoves? 1.5 crore gas stoves
Wow.
are distributed, right? Now, these women will vote for Yogi or not. They'll say, oh, ये
Hmm.
तो Hindu Muslim कर रहे हैं. This is Hindu Muslim. His gas is Hindu Muslim. His toilet is Hindu Muslim. 40 lakh people have the roof on their head now under the PM Awas Yojana. And
Hmm.
I can keep going on. And law and order. So law and order, the first hand beneficiary is women folks. Because पहले तो लड़कियां गलती हो जाती थी. So you are bang on that women voters from any community, any caste, they're the silent voters. Maybe the
Hmm.
community will say something. नहीं, वो यादव जी ने पैसा दिया है, उसने पैसा दिया, उसने पैसा दिया. उन्होंने कहा, nothing doing. My life has become bloody so simple now.
Yeah.
Earlier, I can't defecate properly. I have to get in woods, make cow days. My life was like messed up. Right now, I'm living a smooth life. I can,
Yeah.
and there's electricity in my house. There's 20 24 by electricity now. I can watch my TV serials. Right?
Yeah.
And yeah, one more thing. Village after village, I went to almost 25 30 districts during my research from last 1 year particularly. Every village, Shamba by gone. Women folks came to me and say, Lalla, ye Yogi ji ne 2000 रुपए भेजे हैं. Lalla, ye 800 रुपए भेजे हैं, ये 700 रुपए भेजे
Huh.
हैं. Because of the jam trinity, Jandan Aadhaar Mobile that Narendra Modi government has created, and Yogi government is using that platform to do a lot of direct benefit transfers.
Hmm.
And these are in most of these cases, the money
और
goes to the
डायरेक्टली
account.
इट्स सच अ बिग चेंज, क्योंकि डायरेक्टली हाथ में पैसा जा रहा है, कहीं गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर के सामने जाके हाथ नहीं फैलाना.
नो, नथिंग
हाँ.
डूइंग, नथिंग डूइंग. मतलब अगर पहले 1 रुपए चलता था राजीव गांधी के टाइम में, 15 पैसे पहुंचता था. अब 1 रुपए
या.
चलता है योगी जी के ऑफिस से तो 1 रुपए पहुंचता है पूरा. राइट?
हम्म.
एंड एवरी वुमन शोन मी कि ये देखो लला, ये योगी जी ने भेजे हैं, मोदी जी ने भेजे हैं. राइट? तो
या.
दिस इज रीचिंग देम. राइट? नाउ यू विल से कि ईवीएम हैक हो गया, हिंदू मुस्लिम कर लिया. दैट्स अ वेरी नाइव कमेंट्री. दैट्स अ वेरी
या.
वेरी नाइव कमेंट्री, because the only people who are making this commentary who are not being on the field.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we saw this in the 2019 elections as well. The results
Yeah,
nikal kar aaye the. You saw that there was this, there was this. It doesn't matter caste क्या है, background क्या है, state क्या है. उन सब के बावजूद there was this consolidation because rather the along with the cultural renaissance that's underway in India, there's also those basic services that were being provided
services.
properly to the people after such a long time
Exactly.
that they were like यार अच्छा caste वास्ट तो बाद में देख लेंगे, अभी ये चीजें ज्यादा जरूरी हैं.
Yeah. In fact, after 2014, I'm sure you know I do a lot of TV commentary, right? I've done
Hmm.
4 5,000 TV debates, and every debate I mentioned that in after 2014 the grammar of political commentary has changed, and a lot of commentators are still making old commentary.
Yeah.
I'm saying now there, see, before 2014, there was a very easy grammar of politics that makes sure that Hindus should not vote like Hindus.
Yeah.
They should vote like Tyagis and Brahmans and Kshatriyas and Dalits and whatnot, right? And Muslims should vote as en bloc vote, right? That was a simple grammar that Congress used, and Congress taught everyone from
Hmm.
TMC to SP. They taught everyone. Everybody used this formula and came to power.
Yeah.
Come 2014, there are two things. First is the cultural assertions. Hindu thought this is my country. Now I can go and pray in Ayodhya. Now I can go and pray in Kashi Vishwanath Bhava temple. Now I can go in Mathura. Ayodhya is no more a Vivadit place. It's a place where Deepotsav is celebrated, and it logs in Guinness Book of World Record for the number of diyas it lit. That's Ayodhya now. So one is a Hindu consolidation. Second thing, there is a new caste emerge, Sham. And the caste, I call it, and a lot of media gives me credit for that, I call it a beneficiary caste.
Hmm.
It's a new caste which votes beyond being a Yadav or beyond being a Brahman or a Kshatriya or a Thakur or whatever, because their life has improved,
Yeah.
right? No caste can hold beyond my, and this is not a small change. You can imagine, right? Access to toilet, access to cooking gas, access to a house, access to a cash in your own account, access to good education, access to good health, which were living a very impoverished life from last 2 decades,
Yeah.
right? So beneficiary Hindu consolidation, because now there is a cultural assertion of an entity. You are not shamed for being putting a tilak or a patka,
Yeah.
right? You are in fact being celebrated. When a Shinzo Abe comes to India or a Chinese premier comes to India, he's not taken Hyderabad house. He's
Yeah.
taken to Banaras. He's taken to some temple in Tirupati, in Tamil Nadu. He's taken to Sabarmati Ghat. So and when my prime minister goes to America, he does not gift Taj Mahal now.
Yeah.
He gives a Bhagavad Gita. When Obama hosts him a buffet, first day the newspaper talks about the elaborate buffet of Obama. Next day, everyone is talking about that Narendra Modi did not eat because he was on a Navratri fast.
Oh
That
wow.
was the cultural assertion happening, right? So
Hmm.
Hindu is feeling that, oh, finally there's a government where I need not hide my face. Oh my God, why am I Hindu, right?
Yeah.
That's one consolidation, right? And second consolidation is a beneficiary consolidation, and that's the
Hmm.
new grammar of Indian politics now.
And so let's come to the first part of that is the cultural renaissance part as well, because I think the beneficiary part is very important, but for me personally as well, that cultural renaissance part is also very important. And we've seen already two or three big markers of that, especially in Uttar Pradesh. Obviously, you have the momentous Ram Mandir judgment and the building of the Ram Mandir. I remember it was so huge that when the judgment was announced, my dad, he messaged me and he said, "यार मेरे को नहीं लगता था मेरे जीते जी राम मंदिर बनने वाला
Exactly.
है." So this is
Exactly.
incredible. So for even for his generation, it's even more
Yeah.
meaningful,
Yeah.
because they genuinely didn't believe it. Then you have the very recent, you have the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir as well, and the way I think that one is also a very good example of Shantanu, that administrative know-how and the cultural renaissance, because the
Yeah.
way the land was acquired, it's not an easy
Exactly.
process to
It's not. It
acquire
was
that
a
kind of
very tough. Oh
land,
my God! I'll tell
right?
you the process. What
Tell us a
happened
little
there?
bit about that, because that would
Yeah.
couldn't have been an easy
So,
process.
so my ninth chapter is exactly. Maybe you stole my chapter. That the title is Cultural
Little bit,
Renaissance of UP under Yogi Adityanath.
yeah.
And you know what is the subtitle? You know what is the subtitle? Subtitle is UP is no more only about Taj Mahal now,
Mm.
right? And this is the artwork for that. Oops,
Oh, that's lovely.
this is the artwork for that. This
Yeah,
is this is my chief minister, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So I'll start with Kumbh 2019, right? Oh my God, what a phenomena it was! What a phenomena it was,
yeah.
right? Crores of people came there. It was culturally rich. It was technology-wise rich. Uh, everyone from dignitaries, foreign dignitaries, to Shraddhalus, to tourists, they came there. I was there for almost 3 weeks with my family.
Mm.
I thought my son will be bored. He was 7 then. He never wanted to go back. It was
Oh
so
wow.
so much fun. Everywhere there's sound and light shows about the Kumbh history, about the cultural history of India. The cultural history was presented with all the modern tools of sound and light shows and exhibits. And the Ganga was clean. There were migratory birds there. There were amazing boats. So it was for Shraddhalus, for tourists, for researchers, for photographers, everyone, right?
Mm.
And people saw what is the effect of a yogi chief minister on something like Kumbh. The
Yeah.
one Kumbh happened in Akhilesh Yadav's time also, Sham. And
Acha.
you know who was the Prabhari? Can you
Uh,
guess? Can you guess who was the Prabhari for the Kumbh? Azam
no.
Khan. Azam Khan.
Acha. For the
Why will you do
Kumbh.
that? Why will you do that? Like, is it not to tease Hindus? In his
Yeah.
own ministry, in his all MLAs, there was not one Hindu leader who could have handled Kumbh. It was just to tease Hindus,
Yeah.
right? This was Akhilesh Yadav for you, and this is Yogi Adityanath. I think that time people got the signal that what is the effect of a Yogi chief minister on a state like this, and then we saw the Ram after the Ram Mandir. See, Ram Mandir judgment, it was very momentous, but even before that, Yogi Adityanath started the preparation.
Yeah.
Before 2017, Ayodhya was a vivadit place. It was a, oh my God, the High Court verdict is about to come. There's 10,000 police force there. The Supreme Court verdict is about to come. There is X number of police fellows there, right?
Yeah.
That was the commentary. Come 2017, Yogi Adityanath start celebrating Deepotsav,
Mm.
and the talk is about, oh my God, there's 100,000 diyas are lit. Korea's first lady is coming. Thailand's
Yeah.
Ramayana is getting played, right?
Yeah.
The name of Faizabad is converted to Ayodhya. All of a sudden, it's all positive, positive, positive.
Mm-hmm.
Sham, when I used to go to Ayodhya earlier, all these sites called Oyo, Make My Trip, Yatra, they used to show one hotel or two hotel. Now you'll find 25 hotels which upgraded themselves for tourists.
Oh
The
wow.
money, the Lakshmi Mata is flowing in there after Deepotsav.
Mm.
And come next year, 300,000 diyas, 500,000 diyas, Guinness Book of World Record, second Guinness Book of World Record, more dignitaries coming in, Thailand, Indonesia, South Indian Ramayans. It is a cultural fest.
Mm.
In fact, I request all of your viewers, and it happens on a Choti Diwali. So you will be in your on Diwali, you can be still in your home. At
Yeah.
least make it a life goal. Make it a life goal, and promise me, all the viewers,
Mm.
celebrate one Choti Diwali in Yogi Adityanath Ayodhya. That's my invitation as a UP Wala to all the viewers, all the Sham Sharma show viewers. Make it a wish list that you will come to Ayodhya. I'm sure you, all of you, will come to
Yeah.
Ayodhya for when the Ram Mandir will be there, right? But even before that, right? At least celebrate one Deepavali in it's a Choti Diwali
Yeah.
before Diwali, the Deepotsav in Ayodhya. And mind you, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. In fact, you'll bless me if you do that, right? That's Ayodhya
Mm.
for you. Kashi Vishwanath, you already seen. That was
Yeah.
a very. I was in conversation with Deepak Agarwal ji and Vimal Patel ji, right, the architect of that place,
Mm.
right? How meticulously all those 300, 350 houses were taken, court case solved, compensation given, all the murtis which are found was taken with whole vidhi established again. Oh my God,
Wow.
what a messy process it was. And when you go there now, oh my God, your eye was like, this is
Yeah.
Kashi. That what a culturally rich government can do. 250 years back, Ahilya Bai Holkar touched and did something around the temple. Made the temple again after the huge problem that Mughals have created with a lot of thousands of temples of India. And after 250 years came Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath, which did what they did. And it was
Yeah.
magical. It was magical. You know, that day when they inaugurated it, that day was mesmerizing. In the morning, your prime
Yeah.
minister goes to Ganga and prays. After that, you thought, okay, that's over. Then he takes a cruise. Now, thanks to Nitin Gadkari, there's a massive cruise that runs in Ganga, right?
Oh wow. That's
He
nice.
calls all the chief ministers and he does a meeting inside the cruise in style,
Yeah.
right? You thought it's over now. Then he does a massive arti there in the evening. He's not like shying away on wearing his cultural, his religion on his sleeve,
Mm.
right? You thought, okay, now it's over. Now let's sleep down. Because we are political commentators, people were calling us on TV. Okay, can you do? Then I slept quite late in the day. It was 11:30, 12:15. Someone called me, said, "Can you come on TV?" What
Mm.
happened? I thought like some untoward incident happened in India. You know
Yeah.
why? They said, "Sir, Yogi Adityanath and Narendra Modi are walking on the streets of Banaras at 12:30 in the night."
Oh
And
wow.
finally, uh, The cameras captured the picture when Narendra Modi is standing on the railway station in Banaras. What's the time on the clock above?
Mm.
1:13 in the night. This is almost like old days when the kings used to travel in the night and used to see that if their praja is nice. These are these gentlemen, right, who gets up at 4 and public service, public service, public service. That's their work till 1 in the night, and that's why people salute to them. Oh my God, this is a
Yeah.
blessing that we are contemporary to these two people.
It is interesting that we speak about this, cultural renaissance that's happening in India, that's happening in Uttar Pradesh in particular.
Yeah.
As a result of that cultural renaissance, what has been his relationship with the sizable Muslim community in Uttar Pradesh over the last 5 years? How has that developed? Has there been any change at all, or has it been the same that it's been in 2017?
Yeah.
I mean, we
So
talked
Sham,
about Muslim women
yeah,
briefly right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Sham, in my previous book, my
Hmm.
first book, in fact, which is a biography, and allow me to shamelessly market my books.
No, no, please
The
go
monk
ahead.
who
I do
became
it all
chief
the time.
minister, right? So these are the two books, if you're
Hmm.
allowing me to market anyways, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
The monk who became chief
that's why
minister
we're
and the monk
here.
who transformed Uttar Pradesh, right? In my first book, I have dealt with this section of Muslim engagement with Yogi Adityanath, right? And there's a huge sham created around it. Not the Sham
Hmm.
Sharma sham, the sham. Right? Yeah. So I'll tell you a couple of examples. One of the chief contractors of the mutt is a Muslim. He walks in and walks out of the mutt multiple times a day, right? One of the deans of his college is a Muslim guy. If you
Hmm.
if you see the lot of shops around the mandir, the mutt, which are owned by the mutt, they are given for Muslims to run. If you go to any Janta Darbar, he runs a lot of Janta Darbar even now. And when he was not the chief minister, you can find at least 20%, 30% visibly Muslim people in the crowd who access Yogi Adityanath to sort their problem, right?
Yeah.
Just out of some speech, one speech given in a particular purpose, they try to frame Yogi Adityanath, right? People, Muslims of Gorakhpur, Muslim in the region, love him. And now, whenever someone asks him that, will you celebrate Ramzan? You know what his answer is?
Hmm.
See, I don't want to create a sham. I don't want to create this falsehood just by wearing the Jali Wali topi because I'm not a
Yeah.
Muslim. Why do a drama? I will make sure that law and order, every facility for every Muslim is available to celebrate their festivals. I'm a Hindu,
Yeah.
let me practice my Hindu festivals. I'll not do a fancy dress just to get votes. That's his answer. And when you say, do you respect Ramzan? He say, I respect Allah as much they respect my Ram.
Yeah.
Right? It's a mutual take.
It has to be, yeah. It has to
It
be a
has to be mutual.
mutually respectful relationship.
Yeah, it's not even tolerance. I don't like the word tolerance. Why you have
No.
to tolerate me, right? You respect me, I respect you,
Yeah,
right?
tolerance very clearly just says, ki, look, I don't like. Tolerance almost like explicitly says that I don't like you.
I
I'm
don't
just not
like you, I have
killing
to
you. Yeah.
tolerate you.
I'm just not killing you. I'm tolerating you. I don't like you. I wish you were dead, but I can't kill you right now, so I'll tolerate you. That's what
And
toleration means.
maybe by the time my demography will change, I
Yeah.
may consider killing you also,
Exactly. So mutual
right?
respect is a much more sound philosophy where you're like, okay, we can disagree, but at least we can give each other the basic mutual respect that needs to exist in any society. Jahan par, you have people from different religious or cultural backgrounds. So I
Yeah,
think, yeah, that
yeah.
that part is very important.
And all the schemes, when an expressway is made, when a
Yeah,
scheme is given, when ration is given, when the Aadhaar card seeding is happening, it's happening for every Hindu and Muslim. In
yeah,
fact, I've seen Yogi Adityanath and Narendra Modi don't even answer this question. They said, don't try to put this divisions of Hindu, Muslim always. I was like, my population is my population. In fact,
yeah,
whenever I go to a TV channel, Chamba, uh, in the start for electoral commentary, they say, इतने ब्राह्मण हैं, इतने क्षत्रिय हैं, इतने हिंदू हैं, सीट पे इतने मुस्लिम्स हैं, and then they say कि नेताज बीजेपी is doing communal politics. मैंने कहा अभी
yeah,
आपने तो बताया इतने ब्राह्मण हैं. That psychology is not communal politics, right?
yeah,
You telling a data of कितने ब्राह्मण हैं, मैंने कहा आप क्यों बता रहे हैं? You say इतने voters हैं, that's all.
yeah.
इतने मैक्सिमम, you can say इतने youth है, इतने women है, इतने male हैं. That kind of demography. You yourself was commenting as a channel, as a psychology कि कितना division है society में, and नेता should not cater to that.
There's never a discussion about kitne Sayyid Muslim hai, kitne Julha
Exactly.
Muslim hai, kitne
कितने
ye hai, kitne wo hai.
कितने
Nothing.
पसमंदा है, right?
Muslim are
So
Muslim, but Hindu has to be 60 different castes.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
think now that differentiation, good thing, and thanks to people like you for educating people, right? Otherwise, in TV debates, like, it's a 30 minutes debate. After commercials, is 22 minutes. There are 5, 6 people. We get to speak 2 minutes. You can't even frame an argument, right?
Hmm.
That's why in a podcast, and I'm watching, there are almost like 1,000, 2,000 people watching live now,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure by the time it's end, there'll be multiple 100,000 people. And this is a long argument. You can explain your process, you can explain your argument, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and thanks to a lot of people like you, now you can hide the truth, and that's what is irritating a lot of people from the other side.
Yeah. Do you have you in the process of writing your book, in the process of research, what was your opinion in terms of the general Muslim community? क्या उन तक ये मैसेज पहुंच रहा है कि सिर्फ अपना जो एक ब्लाइंडर्स हैं कि नहीं हमारा कम्युनिटी उससे बाहर निकल के भी अच्छा क्या योगी हमारे लिए करने को तैयार है या क्या गवर्नमेंट कर रही है इन टर्म्स ऑफ एजुकेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट पेमेंट्स जो भी हो डू
Right.
दोस थिंग्स मैटर या अभी भी सिर्फ इट्स द मेन थिंग इज कि अच्छा नहीं हम मुस्लिम है योगी हिंदू है
I got your question, Sham. It was a cultural indoctrination from like years together.
हाँ
कि हिंदू तुम्हें मार डालेगा, हिंदू तुम्हें खा जाएगा. So it was a cultural indoctrination को डरा के वोट लिया जाता था. And I feel sad for the Muslim community that they got leaders like Asaduddin Owaisi, Azam Khan. They were their leaders, right?
हाँ
They rarely got a APJ Abul Kalam kind of leader, right?
yeah
For them, that being part of this country, being part of this culture, be part of this amazing ancient civilization
Hmm.
is a reverence, right?
yes
And now I'm saying increasingly people are getting that sense that if you want to engage positively with this land, with this country, this culture, you need governments like this who deliver good and who will not shy away of calling a spade, right?
yeah
In CSDS survey in 2019, some 10-11% Muslims voted for BJP. In few research survey, that number is 20%. So now
Hmm.
sense is seeping in. Sense is seeping in. I'm not saying they should vote for BJP,
yeah
but
yeah
they should not wait for the fear कि हिंदू मार डालेगा, मुस्लिम मार डालेगा. Out of that, right?
yeah
They should say कि
definitely
अगर गवर्नमेंट की मेरिट है, वो काम कर रही है, तो वोट दीजिए उसको.
Definitely. And I know you have to go soon, so let's do this really quickly because a lot of people, when I announce I'll be talking to you, they were like, "Acha, ye pucho, ye pucho." So I want to talk to you about the upcoming elections that are going on, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, again, as someone who has followed UP elections because you've been writing about Yogi Adityanath quite extensively,
Mhm.
what is your impression in this upcoming election? A lot of the commentary on media is about or anti incumbency aa rahi hai, Akhilesh Yadav is consolidating all these caste votes and all these things. What is your personal opinion from your experience on what might happen in this upcoming election?
Mhm. See, uh, in UP, in last 70 years, there is no chief minister which came back again consecutively, right?
Hmm.
For the full. In fact, Yogi Adityanath is the only third chief minister who is completing his term. Previous being Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati, who is completing their own 5-year term, right? When Akhilesh Yadav became the chief minister in 2012, Sham, the vote percentage for Samajwadi Party was 30%, around
Hmm.
30%. This was the full majority government, the first time Samajwadi Party got. In 2007, when Mayawati became the chief minister, her vote share was also 30%. So this is their peak when everything fires for them. The whole world conspires from them like alchemist. Like that's their peak, 30%, right?
Yeah.
When Meme, Beam, Muslim Yadav, MY combination, everything fires for them. Is this their peak, right? Come 2014, 17, and 19, BJP has upped the game by 10% and 20%.
Wow.
So BJP's vote share is 40%, 42%, and in 2019 almost 50%.
Hmm.
In 50%, they can win election in the country you are living in right now. In the presidential election, right? In first past the poll system, in 30-35%, you are home,
Yeah.
right? So BJP is up the game. And in these times, Samajwadi Party became 22. Samajwadi Party and BSP became 22%, almost
Yeah.
22%, right? So now it's a fight between 22% and 40%.
Hmm. So you
Now,
imagine that 40% vote share remaining.
so now, so this is till 2019, right? And
Okay.
BJP maintained this 40% or 50% vote share for almost 7-8 years. It's not like one election wonder.
Hmm.
From 14 to 19, they maintained that vote share, right? For long 6-7 years, they maintained this vote share, right? So it's like people are now largely aligned towards this. Be it in Lok Sabha election, be it Vidhan Sabha election.
Hmm.
Now this 22 to 40, if you have to, so what good news for BJP supporters? BJP is, if not gaining, is not losing its vote share.
Okay.
Samajwadi Party might be gaining, I'll come to that, but BJP is not losing its vote share. It's stuck at 40% pakka,
Okay.
right? So first of all, it's not an anti-incumbency election. There's not an anti-incumbency wave that हमें ये सरकार हटानी है. I have to find anyone, Gada Goda, koi bhi hai, Akhilesh Yadav, Mayawati, I don't care. I have to remove this government. There is no such feeling. Some
Okay.
people might be sour with the government. I'm sure. The 2 years of Corona, any government which fight election after Corona will face that, right?
Yes.
Again, BJP government is not losing its vote share. Someone else might be gaining his vote share, but for a different reason, not for anti-incumbency. Why? Because BSP is going down. Because BSP is going down, so Muslims don't have a confusion now. They say, and Muslim vote is a negative vote in India.
Yeah.
It's not a positive vote. Negative vote means they are not voting for Samajwadi Party. They are voting for someone who can beat BJP.
Against. Huh.
Against BJP, right? It can be Sapa, it can be Congress, it can be any Tom, Dick and Harry who can beat BJP in that election, right? So that confusion is not there currently. So that vote share is shifting towards Akhilesh. So to my understanding, if everything fires for Akhilesh can only come back to his vote share, his peak, which is 30%, maximum 31, 32%. So there will be a 6, 7, 8% gap between Akhilesh or why I'm not saying Samajwadi Party, because Akhilesh is Samajwadi Party and Samajwadi Party is Akhilesh, right? That's the way these 17 parties run, right? Between BJP, this gap will remain. That's one. And a silent woman voter of beneficiary caste, mind you, it will not come in any opinion poll, any exit poll. In fact, there is a video of a West UP old female Mataji which got viral, and she said like कमल पे लगाया, मैंने तो वोट कमल पे लगाया, लेकिन मार्केट में मैं साइकिल ही बताऊंगी. Because she's so scared of the cycle gundas कि भाई बता दूंगी तो पीट ना दे मुझे, right? They should not ransack my house, right? So ये जो silent voter है, so this gap is still maintaining. I went to multiple fields, this beneficiary voter and Hindu consolidation, right? Though Akhilesh Yadav got maybe 1% of Jain Singh, maybe 0.5% of Maurya, 0.5% of Rajbhar, but that will add maybe 1.5% to his whole kitty, right? That's not enough for making home. I'm not saying that everybody is happy with the government, but to capture that, you have to work hard. If you get active in last 2 months, you can't create anti-incumbency. You have to create anti-incumbency also, right? You know what is Akhilesh Yadav's attendance in parliament? He, right? He's a parliamentarian from Azam, right? So his attendance in 17 Lok Sabha is only 37%.
Oh wow.
37%. Right? It's lower than Rahul Gandhi. It's achievement too.
That's an achievement in itself.
Rahul Gandhi is some 47, 48%. Sonia Gandhi is 50%. These guys that can't even attend parliament. ये तो दिल्ली में रहते हैं. इनको भी
50% में स्कूल में फेल हो जाएंगे. 50% अगर हमारी अटेंडेंस रही तो स्कूल फेल कर देगा.
स्कूल फेल कर जाएंगे, राइट? ये लखनऊ से उठ के महाराज जी दिल्ली नहीं आ सकते हैं. 5 घंटे लगते हैं. फ्लाइट में 1 घंटा लगता है. तो मतलब दे आर नॉट इवन ए सीरियस पॉलिटिशियन. जब हाथरस का केस था जिसको आप पॉलिटिकली भुना भी सकते थे, आप लंदन में पड़े थे. आपने ये भी नहीं सोचा कि मैं अगली फ्लाइट लेके आ जाऊं बाबा. हाँ ठीक है यार, कौन करे, राइट? ये लंदन में मजे कर रहे थे. So during when he was a chief minister, he was a lazy chief minister. He used to get up at afternoon and goes to swimming pool at 6 o'clock, right? And in opposition also, he did not show up for 5 years. अपनी constituency नहीं गए, सड़क पे नहीं आए, कभी कुछ विरोध नहीं करा, कभी दिखे नहीं, लंदन में पड़े रहे, इधर पड़े रहे, दिल्ली में फार्म हाउस में पड़े रहे. That's the way they ran their politics, right? So the competition is Yogi versus Yogi. मैं आपको बताता हूँ, एक इंसिडेंस था. कुछ जगह मैंने डेविल्स एडवोकेट प्ले किया फील्ड में कि कोरोना में इतनी प्रॉब्लम है, बेरोजगारी भी हो सकती है, इन्फ्लेशन है, पेट्रोल के दाम है. तो लोगों ने पता क्या किया? लोगों ने कहा कि हाँ सर प्रॉब्लम तो है, लेकिन वो अखिलेश यादव कहाँ सॉल्व करेंगे, वो तो कभी काम ही नहीं करते हैं. अगर सॉल्व कर भी पाएंगे तो योगी जी सॉल्व कर पाएंगे इसको. मतलब उनको लगता है कि हाँ भाई 10 में से 7 काम हो गए, 3 काम बचे हैं, लेकिन वो 3 काम भी अखिलेश नहीं कर पाएंगे, बिकॉज वो तो सोने और लंदन जाने और स्विमिंग पूल से फुर्सत मिले उनको तब ना. So people have this perception, right? See, you can agree with Narendra Modi, you can agree with Yogi Adityanath or disagree, but at least you have to match their hard work with your hard work. You can't be a weekend politics. You can't keep flirting with politics now. They have made someone like Yogi Adityanath, Amit Shah, JP Nadda, Narendra Modi, they have made politician a full-time profession. You can't just flirt with politics on weekends, right? And just come on election, use some formula, MY, meme beam, and run away with the election. So that's my commentary. I think if I put in seats to this, if everything goes good for BJP should be 270, 280 plus. If they lose here and there, they are no less than 250 in any worst case.
Acha. So things are looking good. Let's hope it turns out that way. And again, Shantanu, I want to thank you for taking the time and coming on the show today. This was actually very enlightening for me because, as someone who doesn't follow Uttar Pradesh elections that closely or what's going on in there that closely, this was very eye-opening, and I'm sure it was for the audience as well. I would just like to tell the audience that the link for Shantanu's book is available in the description of this video. So if you click on the description, the link is there. You can go buy the book over there. I would highly recommend the book. It's a really brisk read, but it's also a very good read. It's a very informative read about what has happened in Uttar Pradesh over the last 5 years, and especially if you're interested in Yogi Adityanath's performance, definitely go check it out. So again, thanks a lot, Shantanu. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, just two things. Just two
Yeah.
things. First of all, the book is available on Amazon.com also, because
Mhm.
I'm sure you have a lot of people who have viewers who live in America.
Yes.
So because Amazon.in doesn't deliver in America in many of the cases, so it's
Yeah.
available in Amazon.in, the Indian Amazon for sure. It's a bestseller there, and it's available on Amazon.com also. And during my visit, my book ranked almost in top 13 political categories in
Oh
Amazon.com,
wow,
which was
that's
first time in my
fantastic.
life in my writing career. My book came in Amazon.com, but they never ranked in
Yeah.
Amazon, right? With this last one small anecdote, I want to end, Sham,
Hmm.
and that's very emotional incident for me. So for my first book, I went to Uttarakhand and met Anand Singh Bisji. Anand Singh Bisji is his biological father. Why I'm
Yeah.
using the word biological? Because currently in his election form, he writes his guru's name as his father. Because after sannyas, you kind of do the pindadan of your previous relationships, right? So I met Anand Singh Bisji, and he had they live in a very small house. I was like literally getting goosebumps that, oh my God, this is the chief minister's house. This is like random chota sa blue organic house where you
Yeah.
can't take your car. आपको पैदल चलना पड़ता है आखिरी 1 किलोमीटर
Acha.
में, बिकॉज इट्स अ स्मॉल विलेज में पंचूर में जाके है वो। तो
Yeah.
मुझे एक चाय की दुकान पे मिले बाहर जाके, मुझे वहां मैंने घर पे मिल भी नहीं पाए। आई स्टॉप्ड
Hmm.
इन ऑन द रोड। आई वाज फीलिंग अमेज्ड कि मैं एक चीफ मिनिस्टर के फादर को ऐसा हाथ दे के चाय की दुकान पे बैठ के बात कर रहा हूँ फॉर 2-3 आवर्स। बहुत सारी
Acha.
बातें बताई, वो मेरी किताब में डॉक्यूमेंटेड है। आई जस्ट टेल द वन लास्ट थिंग ही सेड, राइट? एंड
Hmm.
दैट्स द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ दिस गवर्नमेंट, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम कोटिंग इट। जैसे ही मैं उठने लगा श्याम, ही हेल्ड माय हैंड। उन्होंने कहा बैठो बेटा। मैं हिंदी में
Hmm.
बोलूंगा क्योंकि जैसे उन्होंने बोला था मैं वर्बाटिम
Haha,
बोलने की।
definitely.
उन्होंने मेरा हाथ पकड़ लिया और बोले कि मैं वन अधिकारी था, मैं फॉरेस्ट ऑफिसर था पूरी लाइफ। मेरे साथ के लोगों ने ऊपर नीचे का बहुत पैसा कमाया, ऊपर नीचे का मतलब करप्शन से बहुत पैसा कमाया, और सबने देहरादून में बंगले बना रखे हैं। देहरादून इज अ बिग थिंग फॉर उत्तराखंड पीपल, राइट? इट्स अ बिग टाउन।
Hmm.
सबने देहरादून में बंगले बना रखे हैं। वो जो आपने छोटा सा नीला मकान देखा है मेरा, जो नीला हरा मकान देखा है, वो 2.5 कमरों का मकान मेरे पूरे जीवन की संपत्ति है। और बड़े संतुष्ट दिखे वो बोलते समय। और फिर वो
Hmm.
रुक गए, उनकी आवाज थोड़ी सी मतलब चोक सी हो गई, और उन्होंने मेरा हाथ ना पकड़े रहा है और जोर से भींच लिया मेरा हाथ और दबा
Yeah.
लिया। उन्होंने बोला लेकिन मेरी सबसे बड़ी संपत्ति मेरा ईमानदार मुख्यमंत्री बेटा है।
Hmm.
और ये कहते-कहते वो बहुत ही इमोशनल हो गए, उनकी आँखें भर आई, हम लोग भी। क्योंकि इसलिए नहीं कि वो ऐसा ऐसा कोई डायलॉग था, इतनी ऑनेस्टी से कहा था ना उन्होंने ये बात। कोई डायलॉग मारने के लिए हमको रिकॉर्ड नहीं कर रहे थे, कोई टीवी में नहीं आ रहे थे वो, राइट? इतनी ऑनेस्टी से कहा ना उन्होंने कि मेरी जो सबसे बड़ी संपत्ति है, हाथ पकड़ के और जकड़ लिया हाथ, वो है मेरा ईमानदार मुख्यमंत्री बेटा। आनंद सिंह बिष्ट जी का निधन हो गया था पिछले साल। अच्छी
Hmm.
जीवन जिया उन्होंने, 89-90 ईयर्स के थे वो। लेकिन वो आज भी शायद मेरे आवाज मेरे कान में गूंजती है, और मुझे लगता है वो उत्तर प्रदेश के 75 जिलों में गूंजती है। इट एकोज इन ऑल 75 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश दैट फाइनली उत्तर प्रदेश गॉट अ ईमानदार मुख्यमंत्री।
Hmm.
उत्तर प्रदेश गॉट अ ऑनेस्ट चीफ मिनिस्टर। इनफैक्ट ऑप इंडिया में मैंने आर्टिकल लिखा है जो मेरी हार्वर्ड में टॉक थी अभी जब मैं गया था, और
Hmm.
दैट रिवॉल्व्ड अराउंड दिस ऑनेस्टी, दैट कैन ऑनेस्टी बी अ इंपॉर्टेंट इंग्रेडिएंट ऑफ डेमोक्रेसीज व्हिच डेमोक्रेसीज आर स्ट्रगलिंग फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स टू कनाडा टू इंडिया,
Yeah.
राइट? दे आर लुकिंग फॉर दिस ऑनेस्ट पॉलिटिकल एक्टर। या तो वो आपको संघ की ट्रेनिंग से आ सकता है, व्यक्ति निर्माण की, या आपको वो संन्यास से आ सकता है। हार्वर्ड कैनेडी में सारी पॉलिसी सिखाई जाती है, लेकिन एक ऑनेस्ट आदमी कैसे बनाया जाएगा वो नहीं
Yeah.
सिखाया जाता। आप कितनी भी
Yeah.
अच्छी पॉलिसी बना दो, आई हैव अ वे टू हैक इट। ह्यूमन माइंड इज लाइक शैतान इनफ टू हैक एनी पॉलिसी, राइट? तो ये व्यक्ति निर्माण कैसे होगा, ये फैक्ट्री कैसे बनेगी अच्छे लोगों को बनाने की? दैट्स व्हाई दिस मंक एलिमेंट बिकम्स वेरी essential to democracies not only in India, across world। ये ट्रेनिंग,
Hmm.
ये वर्कशॉप में नहीं सिखा सकता मैं 2 दिन में ऑनेस्टी, नॉन
Hmm.
करप्टेबिलिटी, राइट? इसके लिए आपको या तो आरएसएस टाइप की ट्रेनिंग हो व्यक्ति निर्माण की, जो नरेंद्र मोदी जिस ट्रेनिंग से गुजरे, या फिर एक सन्यासी हो जिसने सब कुछ छोड़ चुका है, जो अपने माता पिता को ही छोड़ चुका है, जो
Yeah.
अपने परिवार संबंधों को छोड़ चुका है। तो आई थिंक ओवर टाइम दिस एलिमेंट ऑफ नॉन करप्टेबिलिटी, प्रॉपरनेस, प्रोप्राइटी विल बिकम important element in democracies, and that argument I made in Harvard and people appreciated it, and maybe people want to read that article in Op India. Yeah, with that
Yeah,
I want to end.
definitely.
And finally we got an honest chief minister, as Anand Singh Bisty said, मेरा
Yeah.
ईमानदार मुख्यमंत्री बेटा।
Yeah. No, that's a great anecdote. So again, guys, the link for the book is in the description. Go check it out. Whether you're in India, if you're in the US, it's available on Amazon.com as well. So go check it out. And again, Shantanu, thanks very much for coming on the show today. I'm sure people that are watching, I'm getting a lot of comments in the live chat that they've really They've gained a lot of insight into what's going on in Uttar Pradesh, and hopefully the election turns out the right way as well. So, thanks again, guys. If you like today's episode, make sure to like, subscribe, share, support the channel, become a patron, become a member, and yeah, we'll see you for the next episode on Tuesday. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Jai Shri Ram from Uttar Pradesh.